Hi, Leo. Welcome to Moonbeam's Messages. This is your collective finance reading. Now, as this is a collective reading, not everything will resonate, so please only take what resonates and leave what doesn't. If you don't find any message in this for yourself, then please check your other placements where you are likely to find a message in there. Now, I'm not a qualified financial advisor. This is simply a message from Spirit with regards to some current financial circumstances that the collective may be going through. So if you're looking to invest in something, please go and speak to a qualified professional. Because no, I'm not going to tell you what stocks and shares to buy or what numbers to get on the lottery. Right. Let's get into this. Spirit, can we get some cards for Leo and their current financial circumstances that you want to bring up? What's going on for Leo with their finances, Spirit? Get one more, please, Spirit. Okie dokie. So we have a Nine of Cups in the reverse in your first position. So this is what you are currently looking at in your finances. This is suggesting to me that you're a little bit worried that you're either working too hard or not putting in enough work, and that you're not necessarily going to have the money that you want. It's very much, sorry, I just pressed a button on my headset. It's very much a card suggesting that, I mean, in the upright, it's very much knowing, you can relax, your hard work's going to pay off for you. In the reverse, you're very stressed, you're very tense. You don't necessarily know if you've got enough money to make ends meet. You could be overworked and underpaid. You might not even be working. It does suggest, very much one of the three things that you might not be working at all. So you're worried about where your income's going to come from. How are you going to pay for the next thing that comes up, or even your next meal for some of you. But yeah, a lot of stress and anxiety there with money. Let's see if we can get some clarity on that. Hmm. So I've got a Seven of Cups in the reverse, a Page of Swords, and an Ace of Cups as well. So Seven of Cups then is very much telling me that you don't necessarily know what to do. You could be very stuck on trying to find out how to move forward, where to go next. You don't necessarily have any idea on how to improve it. It does suggest that you are looking for ideas with this Page of Swords. Very much you're potentially seeking some help from other people. You might be watching other people. You could be watching some self-help videos potentially. Maybe you're watching, things on Instagram, YouTube, on how to improve finances possibly, or even how to get a new job. It could even be that, that overworked and underpaid. How do you go about getting a new job? How do you look at, asking your boss for a pay rise, that kind of thing. And it does suggest to me that you are definitely looking for ways to improve your finances. You are being very careful about what is being offered as well. With the Ace of Cups, you are looking for new opportunities around. So you are trying to maximize what you can. Now, it does suggest that you may have already found something. Now, it could very well be that you're in that in between jobs and there is a new opportunity that's coming up. But you know how sometimes you can have that gap between jobs while you're waiting for the next one to start. You might have only got half a month's pay, that kind of thing. And it could just be that you are getting a little bit stressed over that. Um, but it does suggest there is something coming up for you. And or you might have even started something new. It does look like you found something to potentially invest and improve your finances, but you don't know quite how well it's going to work. Now, your challenge, I've got the Four of Shards, which is effectively a Four of Wands. Um, Now, this is very much suggesting that you need to be careful with your spending on yourself. So it's either one of two ways. You either don't spend on yourself or you spend too much on yourself. Um, Obviously, depending on what you do, that is going to be different for each of you. But it does suggest that you need to potentially spend some time investing into yourself. Now, whether that is buying yourself something and investing into, I don't know, maybe you need some new clothes, maybe you need to go on do a course, maybe you need to just relax. It's not just spending money, but it's also spending your energy and your time. And it's making sure that you're doing enough of it, but not going overboard and doing nothing but that. It's making sure you've got the right balance there. Can we get clarity on this for of? Don't even need to ask for full clarity. It's just chucking them out at me. So yeah, I've got three of cups here. So it does suggest that you might be treating other people too much. This one is suggesting that you need to maybe not share as much as you feel like you should share. Um, it could very well be that you might need to just withdraw and look after yourself a bit. Maybe you've been sharing too much with people, um, especially money wise. You could be spending too much on them and not enough on yourself. And it does feel very much like you need to withdraw a little bit and put some more into yourself. Now it could be your energy as well. Maybe you're spending too much time with other people and not focusing on things that you need to do for yourself. I've also got a lovers in the reverse here and the strength card in the reverse. So the lovers is very much telling me that you need to make sure that you are looking at the opportunities that come up in front of you. But when you're making a decision, make sure that you've fully looked at it and make sure that it's not something that is going to put you out of pocket. Or I think the lovers can even suggest that it's, potentially a lover that you may have been spending too much on. It is very much a case of, yes, there might be opportunities out there. There might be things that you're going to be spending your money on, but making sure that they're going to benefit you as well as someone else. You know, with this strength card in the reverse, it does suggest as well that you might want to be a little bit more timid and a little bit more cautious where it comes to spending out. Not necessarily having that timidity. I mean, by all means, be bold when you're spending on yourself and very much being standing up to spend that time and energy on yourself instead of on other people. But at the same time, it can also be suggesting that you need to, or that your challenge is that you don't invest enough time in other people and you're putting too much into yourself. So it can be either way. It's very much you need to find that balance here, and that is going to be a big challenge. So whether you're spending too much on yourself or whether you're spending too much on other people, you very much need to look at what it is that you're spending on. Is it going to benefit you? Is it only going to benefit someone else? What do you get out of it, kind of thing. And be very cautious with it as well. Look at it fully. Look at the pros and cons about what is it going to do. If it's not going to benefit you, yes, okay, it might be nice to spend on them. Are you going to be expecting anything back from it though? You know, because a gift isn't a gift if you expect something back. The same way as, buying something because someone demands it isn't a gift either. That is just spending on them because they want you to spend on them. So very much, evaluate what do you get out of it, kind of thing. A proper gift, you wouldn't expect anything, but you get the joy of giving a gift. If it's something that they want you to buy because they're demanding it, okay, well, what do you get out of that other than a loss of money? you know? I mean, if it's kids, fair enough, you can just about understand it, but let's face it, sometimes kids need to learn the value of money, and if it depending on what it is and how much it costs, you might not have the money. It might put you in more financial hardship. And as you're struggling to work out where money is going to come from, it just suggests that that could be a big challenge. And it could just be that maybe you spoilt them a little bit and it just needs to be reined in a tiny bit there. Now, the advice on what can help you, we have the moon card. Mm. Now, the moon here is suggesting that some things don't actually cost as much as you feel they should. So it's very much suggesting that your dreams, your dreams can come in cheaper ways. That not all of your dreams can cost a fortune. So very much look at the things that you do want. Look at your dreams of what you want. You might be able to find that you can get them for cheaper. So maybe, I don't know, you're looking for a new car. You might be able to find one that'll get you from A to B. You don't necessarily need to get the top of the range sports car. There might be something else out there. If it's just a car that you want, not necessarily a particular type or brand, a car's a car, you know? As long as it's safe and it gets you from one place to another, it's as cheap as you want it to go. Obviously, that is, just an extreme. Um, but same with holidays. Maybe you want to take a holiday, dream of holiday of a lifetime kind of thing, and your plan has always been to take, I don't know, a big trip that's going to take 3 months, cost you a couple of £1,000. You've got to do everything top of the range. Absolutely beautiful dream. Not going to disagree with you there. And by all means, maybe you could do that in the future. But if you want a small holiday, you don't have to necessarily go and do that one right now. A dream to take a break and go on holiday could just be something as simple as just going away for a weekend and finding a cheap hotel. Not necessarily going on that 5-star luxury hotel, cruise, whatever it is that you were planning. Maybe a 3-star or a 4-star would just make you just as happy as a 5-star. Who knows? Well, again, that's just an extreme example, but it is suggesting that there are ways out there that you can treat yourself that are cheaper than what you would expect or what you would normally do, and you'd still be just as happy with them. And let's get clarity on that. So we've got the Emperor, the Queen of Pentacles, and a Ten of Cups to clarify that moon. So the Emperor then is suggesting that yes, you could help people in need. So here where you might be giving to others, potentially, yeah, okay, give to them if they need help. But just remember as well, help comes in many ways. Doesn't have to be money. You can help people by not giving them money. And weirdly, one of the things that I've learned personally is instead of keep giving someone money, helping them by not giving them money can be just as helpful. And that sounds really weird. So, for instance, if you've got, I mean, my particular circumstances, it was very much of a case of I had a family member keep asking me for money. And eventually I had to say no because they just use you as a second source of income. They're not learning to budget, they don't learn to look after the money at all. I offered the help to help them budget. Offered them the help on finding ways that they could cut money out and, adjust things. They weren't interested. They were very much a case of, okay, well, if you're not going to give it to me, then I mean, I got called a narcissist for not giving them what they demanded. I got called all the names under the sun, but it was very much a case of it was because they weren't getting what they wanted. Now, that particular family member still goes and asks all other family members. They've not learnt yet because they're still getting that same thing. The nicest thing people can do for people like that is to say no, because then they've got to learn how to manage their own. And it's very much of a case of sometimes people won't bother to learn how to deal with their own stuff because they've got too many people around them that they can just use. Um, so helping them could very well just be you being kind and saying, no, but let's look at an alternative. Let's offer them time instead of finances, offer to help them learn how to, maybe look for a new job, offer to help them with budgets, offering to be, do you know what I mean? You can literally offer help in other ways other than just giving money. And let's face it, people that just want money all the time and want you to buy things all the time, it's because they they're never satisfied, they're never satisfied with what they've got. And a lot of the time they just want other people to keep giving to them constantly. And it doesn't matter what you give, they're never going to be satisfied. So giving to others, it might be kinder to give in a different way. Now, the Queen, I mean, it could very well just be that you need to help people that are genuinely in need, where you might have lots of people demanding you share with them. It might be that there's certain people around you that actually need your help and you might need to concentrate on those instead. Now, we also have a Queen of Pentacles here. This Queen of Pentacles does suggest that if you are helping in the right way and giving in the right way, money will not be an issue for you. That Queen of Pentacles is very much an abundant being. There could also be a Queen of Pentacles around you, somebody that doesn't have an issue with finances. And it could be that they might need to help you with budgets and things. It could be that they might be a source of income, not necessarily income, but somebody that can help you find your dreams at a cheaper price, potentially. And then we have this Ten of Cups, which is very much suggesting that you need to make sure that you include other people because your money has a good effect on them. So here then, the challenge looks to me more like overspending on yourself and you not sharing is what the challenge is. And this, where these are talking about you not sharing, it's not that you shouldn't, it's not that you're over giving. It looks like you might be under giving. So it could be that you've got someone around you that you potentially need to be spending a bit more money or energy on. Possibly loved ones, children, for instance, if you've got children, family members, possibly even friends. If you've taken a lot from friends, or if your friends have helped you out a lot in the past, it might be time to reciprocate and help them. But it is definitely suggesting that you need to look at helping others, possibly giving to others here. And that can include your energy as well as your time. And as weird as it sounds, it might be that you find that that actually leads to another job. So here, where you are very much looking to increase your earnings, it could be something as simple as if you give a bit of your energy out, maybe you do something ad hoc for someone, and they then may pay you for it, and they might recommend you to someone else. And it could turn into an income stream for you, you know? Now, if you take the advice here and cut back on your dreams, not cut back on your dreams, but find them cheaper and give. We do have the Emperor and we have the Three of Gems. Now, the Emperor here is in the reverse. Excuse me. And so that Emperor is very much suggesting that once you've helped those people in need, you're not going to need to help them anymore. You know, once you've done this bit here, they're done. They don't need that help from you anymore. It's over and done with, and it's like a debt has kind of been paid, sort of thing. It's not saying that there is a debt, but it feels very much like you'll be free from that kind of energy of having to keep giving. Um, this does suggest that you will have a bit more money, that you're not going to be quite as stressed, and it does suggest that you're going to be feeling a bit more stable and you're going to have more options. So it could very well be, like I say, you helping somebody could very well get spotted. It looks like it's going to turn into some sort of new opportunity for you that is going to lead you into some stability. Now, it could also be that you help somebody now and they will put in a good turn for you. You know, maybe they get a lottery win and share it with you or something. Obviously, not saying that's going to happen, but you never know. You never know. All right, what's this Emperor and Three of Pentacles spirit? What's that? Six of Cups and a Hangman in the reverse. Hmm. So the Six of Cups here is very much suggesting that you need to make sure that you carry on doing what feels good. So if you enjoyed giving to people, you don't need to anymore, but you can if it makes you feel good. Is he in the reverse? Sorry, I'm just trying to work out if my Hangman is in the reverse or not. He is in the reverse. It's been a while since I've used this deck, and most of the Hangmen are upside down, so that's why I was a little bit confused, but obviously the back is telling me it's in the reverse. But yeah, so your Hangman then. It does suggest that certain things that you've done in the past. So if, for instance, where you may have been thrifting, you may be upcycling certain things. That is very much going to turn into a bit of a profitable idea. So weirdly enough, it could be that you help somebody with some sort of upcycling project. Maybe you help them to sell them. Maybe you help to direct them into the right place. Maybe you help them build something and your skills are recognised. But this is very much suggesting that whatever it is you're doing, um, if you're upcycling things, you could turn that into a bit of a profit there. There is something definitely coming in your way, some sort of windfall as well. Now, when I was saying earlier about somebody possibly giving you some money, I don't know if that Eight of Wands was out at that point. So the Eight of Wands is very much you receiving some sort of windfall. Now, that could be an inheritance pay. It could be a lottery win. It could be an insurance payout, a legal payout of some form, a bonus, a pay rise, whatever it is. There is going to be some money coming through. Now, it could just be a payment for you helping, and it could be something that you're not expecting. And then we have the Death card as well. Now, the Death is very much suggesting that where you may have felt stuck over here, business is very much going to resume. You are going to have money. So if you're worried about not having a job, not having finances, if money is feeling stuck, maybe you don't have any. Like I say, that's very much the energy over here, and you were looking for how to improve it. It is going to improve. This Death card is very much suggesting that whatever's happened, you're going to get through it. It is going to improve. You are going to see the light of day. And like I say, you've got this windfall coming in. You have got people paying out. Um, you know, there's a lot happening in this outcome that suggests that you helping others is going to help you in the long run. All right, let's get you an Angel of Abundance card to see if there's any other messages from Spirit. Let go of guilt. Interesting. So, whenever you allow your light to shine brightly, you inspire others. Forgive yourself for what you think you've done or not done, and trust that God loves you unconditionally for who you are. Learn and grow from past mistakes instead of berating yourself for them. Now, that could be why you may be spending too much on yourself. If you are somebody that berates yourself over certain things or feels guilty for yourself, you might be self-indulging slightly, and that could be where your money is then going to because of certain self-indulgences, because you're not releasing guilt and learning from past mistakes potentially. Now, obviously, that is not going to be all of you, so that will only be for a few of you. But yeah, that's what we have got for you. I hope you found that reading not usable, useful, Leo. If you did, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. It will help pass the message on to anyone else that needs to hear it. And if you want to hear more from me, then if you press that subscription button and press the notification bell, it will let you know when I do post new content. For those of you that are subscribed already, thank you very much for your subscription. It is greatly appreciated. It helps the channel grow and helps pass those messages on. So thank you for all of your support. Thank you very much for watching, and good luck.